Hello and welcome to Lofty Pursuits and Public Displays of Confection in Tallahassee, Florida. I'm Greg, and today I'm going to make some Mother's Day candy that is both a demonstration of candy multiplication and palindromes. A palindrome is a word that's read the same way forward and backwards. Both mom and wow are this way. There are also palindromic sentences that can be read forwards and backwards, with only the changing of some spaces between the letters. So we're going to take advantage of the fact that palindromes are mirror image to make a candy that is mirror image in each way, because wow and mom are reflective of each other. The candy was heated to 310 degrees Fahrenheit. The flavor was already added, and the flavor for this will be apple pie. Because what's better than mom and apple pie? The next thing to do is to set up the color palette. There will be 3 colors in this candy. Pink for the outside edge, red for the letters, and white for the background. And I'm going to start with pink. I'm going to add the food coloring, and it's going to start boiling off into steam. This is good because we don't want the water in the candy. And it's got an amber background, and that's going to become white, and I'll show you that later. We describe apples as crisp, but what we really mean to say is they're just a little tart. And for tartness, we need some sour, and for sour, we have to add the acid. And we have to wait pretty long, because the citric acid will burn if it's applied too early to the candy. So now the candy's cooled off a bit, so it's time to add the acid. To avoid waste, we have to move these bars quickly and get things cutting. No waste, grab a bar, get saw on. Where the bars meet, there are little gaps, but the candy doesn't leak out of it. The candy hitting either side of that gap cools so fast it plugs it, and it prevents it from leaking through the gap. No, it never propagates. If I set a gap or prevention. And our 150-year-old cooling table has done its job, and the candy is now cool where it touched the candy table. And this allows us to cut our palette up into different colors. Before making this video, I didn't realize that candy had a history of palindromes. I mean, look at M&M's, C's, Peeps. They're all good backwards and forwards. And now there's Mom Wow. If you've forgotten already, it's not too late to get candy, Mother's Day candy, for your mom for this Mother's Day. Just go to www.pd.net. If you had a lapse in your memory, and you didn't get anything yet for your Mother's Day, you could still fix this. Lapses? Order red roses, pal. We have the red, we have the pink, and now it's time to deal with this amber. And we don't want amber, we want white. And Jake's going to help me today by putting it on the hook and pulling it repetitively, trapping air bubbles and getting it white. Yo, Banana Boy, have you ever noticed that 7-foot fiberglass banana on the roof of our store? I was hoping you could do us a favor. We're up for an award in Tallahassee for the Best of Tallahassee Awards, and you can vote for it. If you go to loftypursuits.com/vote, it'll tell you everything you need to do, and there's a link in the description of this video as well. One of the neat things of doing what I do is you can multiply designs. And since Mom and Wow are really only two characters, M, which is also the W, and O, I'm going to do candy multiplication here, and I'm going to start by making the M, and I'm going to make it twice the size that I want it. I've stretched my completed M out and reshaped it with my hands, and now I'm cutting it in half to have two M's, and I'm putting that aside to work on the O. It's time to build the word, and this is surprisingly tricky, because once you cut the letters at the end, you can't see which way the M is facing, so you can put it upside down. I remember about 8 years ago I made this candy, and I got a W upside down so it said Mo. One of my customers who was watching noticed my frustration and asked if I was upset for making the mistake. Mad? Am I, madam? Of course I'm mad. But this year I took extra care, and everything came out okay. Multiplication doesn't come just once in this design, it comes twice. So now that I've pulled out the mom, I'm cutting it in half, adding a spacer like I did between the letters. And I'm going to make it Mom Wow. Because my mom wows, and I think yours does too. Now it's time to put the white wrap around it, and this is easy with a square design like this. The pulled white goes entirely around the candy, and we roll it for a few minutes to even out the temperatures. You see, the letters are much cooler than the outside, but in the next step, I need everything to be roughly the same temperature. The heat from the white candy will warm up the letters a bit and make them easier to stretch in the next step. The pink for the outer wrap comes next, and it's even hotter than the white wrap. And we roll it around, and then we need to scale it down, and we do this by pinching off one end and producing a unicorn dropping that we sell in the store. To prevent distortion, we scale our candy on our batch roller, and as it scales down, we pull out rods from the log, and each rod will have the words all the way through it, and we'll cut it into manageable lengths and roll it to let it cool. All that's left is turning those rods into bite-sized pieces. And it came out just like I said it would. I did good. Did I do, oh God? Did I as I said I'd do? Good. I did. It came out great. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to us here on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And of course, if you're ever in Tallahassee, we'd love to see you. Thank you for watching.